Hi, I'm Eloise. I'm going to be making mince pie shortbread. These are our ingredients. We have some normal flour, we have some butter. We need to use the whole thing of this. If you want a healthy recipe, you are looking in the wrong place, but this tastes good, so who cares. We have golden caster sugar. We have mincemeat. So if you're from the UK, you might be thinking, why are you putting meat in your dessert? This is made out of like fruit. It's made out of fruit, so it's got some, what you can see here, it's got apple puree, so sugar, sultanas, raisins, all of those sort of wintry fruits. Has some spices in it as well. Normally you'd eat this in a pie, so the pie wouldn't be like a big pie like this. It'd be kind of this size, and you get it at a Christmas market, or you'd heat it up at home and have it with cream or ice cream. It's a very traditional English sweet that we only really eat around Christmas and in the winter. So yeah, I'm putting this into shortbread today instead of into pastry, because it's easier and it's a nice twist on the generic recipe, and it's easier if you're lazy like me. We have some of this special pastry flour. The recipe wanted me to use rice flour, but as we all know, that's kind of hard to find in a supermarket, so I googled an alternative and this is what I came up with. We also have cinnamon and cloves to spice the shortbread with. First of all, we need to put this entire block of butter in. Right, so that should be 250 grams. And then we want to add the sugar. And that's 100 grams. Yeah. For this recipe, a electric mixer will come in very useful. If you're lucky enough to have a stand mixer, you can use that. Oh no, wait, I missed a step. So you're meant to have vanilla essence. I do not have vanilla essence because I was not prepared enough. So we need to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and half a teaspoon of cloves. That's half. That's 1 teaspoon. And then half a teaspoon of cloves. Cloves. And now I'm going to try and blend this together, even though the butter is rock solid because it's freezing in Southampton. I don't know if you can tell, this is having trouble with the butter. It's all stuck, so I'm gonna have to push it out. We just need to get most of it out so that it's easier, otherwise it will take us years. And we don't want that, we want something nice and easy. Place these back in and try again. Right, I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. Now I'm just going to use a rubber spatula. Scrape down the sides. It feels pretty fluffy. You can see all the air bubbles. So now we need to stir in the flour and ground rice. So I don't have ground rice, like I said before. I'm just using special 00 special pastry fancy plain flour that I found at Sainsbury's. You probably can just use normal plain flour, let's be honest. It's a bit excessive to grind up some rice, and I don't have anything to ground up rice with. And we need 250 grams of plain flour. I'm going to use this fan contraption that I got from IKEA and just sift it in. 100 more grams of that. There you go. So I'll fold this in first because otherwise it'll be a bit too dry if I just put both flours in at once. As you can see, it's quite a dry dough, but that's just generic for biscuits. Like, it's normally like this, it just takes a bit of time to kind of get it all incorporated. You can make this vegan. You just need to make sure you use a vegan alternative to butter. It's quite easy because there's no eggs or anything like that. So as long as you have vegan butter and vegan mincemeat, then you're fine. You can make mincemeat yourself. I've chosen not to. But yeah, if you're not in the UK, you can make it yourself. It's quite, I think it's, you know, it's a nice thing to do when you're stuck at home at Christmas time. I think we're almost there. Right, so now it's time to add the other flour. That's 140 grams. And that's about enough. Okay, so there we go. God, I've made such a mess. Flour everywhere. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to use my hands because then we can combine the dough together a bit better. See, it's coming together a bit easier because the heat from your hands helps as well. Just make sure it's all incorporated. You need to make sure it's not really crumbly, because if it's crumbly then it won't get cracks in it, and we want it to kind of be a big smooth sandwich with the bottom part, the mincemeat in the middle, and then another layer of shortbread on the top. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to split this in half. It doesn't have to be accurate, just like as long as you have enough to cover the bottom and enough to go over the top. Bring in my baking tray, which I prepared earlier because no one wants to see me do that. I'm going to just put this in and press it so that it goes all the way up to the side. We want it to cover the bottom of the tray. You just want to make sure you have a nice layer of biscuit all over the place. Looks a bit of a mess, but we're almost there. Luckily, it's just me and my partner eating this, so no one else is going to have to deal with my fingers being all over it. Right, so next I'm going to open the mincemeat, and I'm going to wash my hands first because they're greasy from the dough and I don't think I'm going to be able to open this. Ah, there we go. So we're going to just dump this pretty much straight in there. We need 350 grams. So we'll just spoon it in and start spreading it out. So you might be thinking these white bits look like maggots. They're not. They're suet. Well, they're vegetarian suet. So it's a type of fat. Just makes it taste nicer. Spoon this so there's about 1 centimetre border around the edge, so you can stick the other half of the pastry down. So that's that bit done. What we're going to do next is we're going to roll out the rest of the dough. I'm going to use my fancy Silpat pastry thing to roll out the shortbread because it's easier to get it off of here than it is to get it off the kitchen top. Like, you can lift this up way easier and pull it off. So the recipe says to kind of use, if you don't have one of these, you can use 2 pieces of baking paper and you can put this in between the dough in between it and then just roll it out with the rolling pin. So we want this to be 20 centimetres by 20 centimetres. I'm just going to make it into a ball so there's less cracks, so it's easier. that way. Very helpfully, this pastry thing has measurements down the side, like here. You can see it's kind of about, yeah, I'd say it's about 20 centimeters. It just needs to be a bit wider at the top and bottom, so I'm gonna have to keep going for a minute. And what we can do is we can cut bits from the side. I'll just pull it off because I'm lazy, and stick it on the bottom, wherever you need, basically. Just, you know, it's not meant to be a fancy dessert, it's easy, it's simple, it's meant to be a bit of fun. So just pull it off, stick it there, you know. Maybe it needs to be a bit bigger. Oh, that's about right. Oh no. Maybe I should have done it between 2 pieces of baking paper. Right. Too late now. I'm gonna try and peel this off. There we go. Like a pie. And just ceremoniously put it on. If you're like me and you've got your size estimation a bit off, just kind of push it down. You can either do what I'm gonna do and just just do this and make it look a bit folded over and make the edges a bit thicker, or you can probably just cut them off and make little pieces of shortbread to have on the side. It's up to you, it's completely up to you. You're not on Bake Off, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like, it just matters what it tastes like. Just use a fork and yeah, that looks awful, but we're gonna keep going, it's fine. And I know it will taste good, so it's fine. I don't really mind what it looks like. Other people might, but they don't have to eat it. I might as well try decorating it with these flaked almonds because I've got them and I don't know what to use them for, so let's make it extra Christmassy and try and make a Christmas tree. There we go. They look kind of like they're kind of like a fir tree. There we go. I think it'll be nice. Beautiful. So we're going to stick that in the oven at 180 degrees for 25-30 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to make we're just going to mix together a tiny bit of sugar and some cinnamon to kind of sprinkle over the top when it's done. It just adds a bit more of a Christmassy feel to it. Get a small pot, and granulated sugar, and we have some cinnamon. So this doesn't really need to be exact, you just need to not make it overbearing in terms of cinnamon and kind of make sure it's balanced. We need about 2 tablespoons, you can do less, of sugar, so it's about that much, and half teaspoon, sorry, not half tablespoon, Jesus, of that, and just mix it together. And then when it comes out the oven, sprinkle this over the top, and yeah, then it's done. And just wait until it's cooled down. Once it's cooled down, you can take it out of the tin and you can cut it into pieces. I'd recommend about 16 pieces, otherwise it could be a bit too sickly. But yeah, basically this is a nice treat for Christmas if you're wanting a traditional English recipe. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.